Hi, today we're going to be focusing on learning how to play and read tabs on guitars. So first, what are tabs? Tabs are basically a specified kind of sheet music for guitars. And you need tabs in order to play songs because you need to know how to read them to play the songs on the guitar. And so today we're going to be learning about what tabs are and how to read them. So over here, we'll post a tab on Twinkle Twinkle Little Stars. It's a very simple song. And you'll see on the tabs that there are two main components. There is one component being the lines on the tab, and the second component being the numbers. So what do they represent? Well, you'll see that there's 6 lines, right? And those 6 lines represents one string. It represents your 6 strings. And you also see numbers. The numbers, they represent the fret count. Like, remember when we were tuning the guitars in the first introduction to guitar video? I always told you to go to fret 5 for most of the strings to tune them, right? That meant going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frets. And the same thing applies here. You'll see that over here, the numbers that are being used are 3, 0, and 2, okay? That means that we're only going to be concerned for this song. The only frets we're going to be concerned with are 3, 2, and what is 0? Well, we know that this is 3, we know that this is 2, we know that this is 1. 0 is just when you have nothing on the guitar. You have your hand out. So if I play this is your E string, your lower E string. If I play it, I'm playing this at a 0th fret. If I played that, for example, I'd be playing this at a 6th fret. But this is 0. Okay, so we know what the numbers are on the tabs. They represent what the frets are. But how do we find out what the strings are on the tab? Like, there's 6 strings on the tab, so which one correlates to what string on the guitar? So the way you do this is that in any kind of sheet music you read, in guitar, piano, any instrument, you'll see a basic trend in which the top line on whatever sheet music it is the higher pitch associated on the instrument, and the lower line on whatever instrument is the lower pitch associated on the instrument. And what I mean by that is that the highest line in our tabs over here is associated with the highest pitch string on the guitar, because highest pitch. So our highest pitch is our lowest string on the guitar. And for our for the lowest line on the tab is going to be our lowest pitch on the guitar, which is our highest string. So it's basically looking at a guitar upside down is what a tab is, basically. So if you looked at your guitar like this, for example, you'd see that this is your highest pitch string, and it is also the string, it is also the string in which the tab is associated with. And you'll see that this is your lowest pitch string, and it's also the lowest string, the lowest line on the tab music. But because we don't play our guitars like this, and we play our guitars like this, you're gonna have to calculate what string is which on the tabs. The way I like to do it is I just look at it as pitch. So going from bottom to top, your strings will be lowest pitch, second lowest, third lowest, fourth lowest, fifth lowest, and highest. Or going from top to bottom, it'll be highest pitch, second highest, third highest, fourth highest, fifth highest, lowest pitch. I just remember it like that, but I also have a lot of practice in it which gives me kind of muscle memory, and I remember like that also. So it's very important that you practice in order to remember how to play tabs and how to use them to learn music. So after this video, I highly suggest that you go to a link that I'll offer in the description to find out some simple songs that you guys could practice on yourself. But anyways, over here, let's try together to play the song Twinkle Twinkle Little Stars. So what it says here is that we have to go to the second lowest pitch string, which is this one, and play a fret of 3 on it. So 1, 2, 3, fret 3, and we play it twice, so it'll sound like, okay, so that's what that two notes are. Okay, nice. And now it's saying play an open on our third string from the bottom of the guitar. So that is 1, 2, 3, this one. So it's gonna sound together. You play your 3s first. And then you play on that same string, you play a fret of 2, so it's gonna sound like. And then you play open again. And then now I know that because the number on the fret is 1 below, that means on the guitar it's going to be 1 pitch below, and 1 pitch below is like physically 1 string above. So it's going to sound like. And then now we can play that 1 string above. And then open, open. 3. Alright, so now let's play it together. So it'll sound like 3, 3, open, open, 2, 2, 2, open, and then 3, 3, 2, 2, open, open, and then 3. That's it. You've played Twinkle Twinkle Little Stars. And if you haven't, don't worry, take your time, rewind if you need to, or you can try learning it on your own. It's fairly simple. That's pretty much it on reading guitar tabs. There's also techniques that you might see on the description, on the link I posted in the description. Like there are 4 main techniques on the guitar, and the tabs might identify to use those techniques while playing the song. The 4 main techniques are slides, hammers, hammer on and hammer off are 2 different techniques, but they're in the same kind of family. And then there's also synthetic notes. So we'll go synthetic notes, you won't use as much, but they're always there, and some songs might need you to use it. Those are kind of higher level songs. You'll get there eventually, but right now focus on the main 3. The main 3 techniques are sliding, which is going from 1 note, keeping your finger on the fretboard and sliding to the second note. Like if we're playing on the top E string, the lower pitch E string over here, and we're sliding from fret 1 to 12, it'll sound like, because we have our finger on. We never let our finger off. We always keep our finger on the fretboard and we just slide. And the way that it might show that on the link in the description in their tab system, it depends. They usually have a key or like a legend, but I'm pretty sure it might be a slash saying that go from this note slash slide to that second note. So that's sliding. The second one is hammering. So hammering is basically when you start off with 1 note and then you hammer onto a second note. That's hammering. And hammering has 2 kind of categories. There's hammer on, which means that you're hammering on, so it'll sound like, and there's hammer off, which means you're hammering off. And there's no special characters between hammer on and off. There's only hammer being an H. So how am I supposed to know when to hammer off and on? Well, it's only possible to hammer on when the starting note is lower than the second note. Because look, if we're having our starting note being 4 and our ending note being 3. How are we supposed to hammer our finger onto this? Like, that makes no sense. It's going to sound like... That's not how it's supposed to sound like. What we're doing for this is... The correct way to do this is just going like... But that's not a hammer on. That's a hammer off. So if your starting note is higher than your ending note, that means that's a hammer off. But if your starting note is lower than your ending note, that means that's a hammer on. That's hammering. Synthetic notes are kind of hard to play, and you won't see them that much in kind of beginner songs, but it'll sound something like that. It's basically when you time, so you keep your finger on, it's always going to be on the 12th fret, and what you do is you keep your finger on the 12th fret, you pluck, it'll sound like this, but right after you pluck, you make sure that you lift off your finger at the right moment to make that synthetic kind of noise. But again, you won't see this that much, so don't worry about it. That's basically it about how to read tabs. Again, I'll provide a link in the description so that you guys are free to explore on what tabs you guys want to learn. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Good luck.